Historic landmarks in Saudi Arabia. Heritage sites and ancient places. Adventurous travelers willing to go off the beaten path are guaranteed to find dozens of historic landmarks in Saudi Arabia. Thanks to open tourism in the kingdom, sites like Ashaker Heritage Village and Al Asa Oasis are ripe for exploring, and tourists are finding more to love about Saudi Arabia's historic sites every day. Even if off-road desert expeditions, caving and hiking aren't itinerary musts, visitors will find plenty of places to take them back in time in Saudi Arabia's capital city of Riyadh. Landmarks in Saudi Arabia. Historic sites. Madain Salah. Discover Saudi Arabia's richest and most promising tourist destination. Alula. About 4 hours northwest of Medina lies one of the most historic landmarks in Saudi Arabia and up-and-coming tourist attractions. Al-Ula currently is undergoing major transformations in preparation for the onslaught of tourism expected in the kingdom. The ancient village is considered an oasis in the desert valley of the Medina region and is located on historic Incense Road, an ancient travelway that served as a catalyst for trade between India and the Middle East. Landmarks in Saudi Arabia. Historic sites. Al-Ula Heritage Village. Al-Ula retains much of its historic charm, particularly in Al-Ula Heritage Village, where tourists can see some of the best preserved mud brick and stone houses in the world. Archaeologists believe the 800 homes are at least 2,000 years old. Besides Al-Ula Heritage Village, visitors also should plan a stop at Al-Ula Museum to learn more about the history of the region, Islam culture, and native vegetation of northwest Saudi Arabia. Landmarks in Saudi Arabia. Historic sites. Madain Salah, just a 30-minute drive away, Madain Salah is one of the main reasons people travel to Al-Ula. The ancient archaeological site showcases well-preserved remains of the Nabatean kingdom and is one of the most popular landmarks in Saudi Arabia. Visitors can explore a series of 131 larger-than-life rock-cut tombs that resemble the famous structures of Petra. Landmarks in Saudi Arabia. Historic sites. Hijaz Railway Museum. Located just outside Madain Salah is Hijaz Railway Museum, which highlights part of the Ottoman railway network that once ran through the Hijaz, or western Saudi Arabia. Guests can learn how important the transportation system was to Islam and view some of the remains of Al-Ula station, including original tracks and trains. The original station, which was bombed by the British in 1917, still stands in Al-Ula. Tourists can stop and take photos of the compound but are not allowed to enter. The Hijaz Railway was a monumental project proposed in the early 20th century by the Ottoman Empire. The line was meant to make pilgrimages to Medina easier for Muslims in outlying countries, but because of its enormous overhead and complications with building that hit at the beginning of World War I, the line was shut down and never reinstated. The remains of the line, which span from Damascus, Syria, to Medina, Saudi Arabia, are designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most treasured landmarks in Saudi Arabia. Landmarks in Saudi Arabia. Historic sites. Elephant Mountain. Rock. Last but not least, nearby Elephant Mountain, sometimes called Elephant Rock, offers open views of ancient geological formations in the rolling sands of the Hijaz, or Western Province. The scenic region sits between Al-Ula and Madain Salah. Local guides are happy to take tourists to this area.